At Purcell Tire Rubber, we strive for total client satisfaction in providing new tire and retreading services for customers throughout the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The initial inspection. The first stop for every tire is the initial inspection. This is the most important step in the retread process. After the tire is loaded onto the spreader, the technician will scan the barcode to determine the owner of the tire, verify tire brand, size, and that the DOT registration is correct, and to see what the tire has been brought in for. The technician will visually inspect the sidewall and inside of the tire looking for any cuts, penetrations, injuries, or flaws, and at the same time running a high voltage test that will pick up any unseen penetrations to the tire. All injuries are probed and any foreign objects are removed. Any injuries or penetrations needing to be repaired are marked for the repair process. If the tire doesn't pass the initial inspection, it will not be eligible for retread. The tire, along with its data, are sent to the next station for the next step. The purpose of the buffing process is to remove old tread rubber. This will ensure that the surface is clean and smooth and will allow the new tread to adhere properly. Buffing also trues up the tire casing. After the technician loads the tire onto the buffing machine, the tire is inflated to its optimal pressure. The casing is then buffed to a predetermined crown width and radius and symmetrical profile. The technician will measure the tire to ensure the buffing process was completed successfully. The tire is now ready to move on to the next step. The skiving process. During this step, the technician removes any steel cord material that is rusted or that may have been damaged by foreign objects. First, the technician trims out the rusted or damaged area. Next, they trim back the steel cords to solid material and remove any final damage. The technician uses a wire brush to do a final cleaning of the area, and lastly, rubber cement is applied to prevent oxidation and to provide a tacky surface for the new rubber tread. The tire is now ready to proceed to the next step. The repair process. The repair process is to fix any injuries to the tire post-skiving. Injuries to the crown or sidewall, as well as bead damaged, are addressed. The technician will drill through the tire from both sides to remove the object completely. Strict guidelines are followed in regards to the proper application of repair patches and size limitation to the repairs of the crown and sidewall. After inserting rubber material to seal the hole, the technician will prepare the surface for a patch to be applied. Adhesive is used to secure the patch, and then the patch is applied. The technician's name and date are written on the patch. The technician will then apply a liner sealer around the patch. The tire is now ready to move on to the next step. Cushion application process. Once the tire is loaded onto the machine and inflated to the proper pressure, the technician measures the tire width and adjusts the machine to fit properly. The cushion is the rubber used to bond the tread rubber to the tire. As the cushion is applied, it is simultaneously filling any skives created at the skiving station. The technician monitors the operation to ensure the rubber is applied evenly to the tire. Finally, the operator measures the rubber depth to verify the proper depth was applied. The tire is now ready to move on to the next step. Precure Building process. Once the tire is loaded, the barcode will be scanned to confirm all the relevant tire data and to ensure the proper tread is applied to the tire. The technician then applies the tread to the tire using the guide roller to ensure the tread is applied correctly. The computer will alert the technician when the tread is ready to be cut. The technician does not touch the underside of the tread so as to not contaminate the contact surface. Ensuring a proper fit is necessary for proper tread bonding. Tread surfaces are matched and plastic staples are used to secure the tread. The staples will become part of the tire in the curing process. And the final process is placing a wicking cloth onto the surface that will help remove any air so the tire is ready for the next step. Unicircle retread application. This process involves fitting a one-piece tread specified by the customer onto the tire. The tread material is affixed to the machine with the help of fingers that hold the tread in place. The technician loads the tire onto the machine and inflates it to optimal pressure. The tire is inserted between the tread, and as the stampers apply pressure to the tire, the fingers are removed, allowing the tread to be affixed to the tire. The tire rotates so the stampers can apply pressure where the fingers were previously. The tire is spun so the technician can confirm an even application has occurred, and wicking cloth is attached to aid in the removal of air. The tire is now ready to move on to the next step. Enveloping process. During this process, the tire is encased in a flexible rubber envelope which conforms to the shape of the tread and the casing. This envelope causes uniform pressure to be applied to all tire surfaces during the curing process. Once the envelope is attached, rubber arc rings are installed to seal the envelope at the bead of the tire. Now the tire has an airtight seal. The tire is now ready to move on to the next step. The curing process. During the curing process, the prepared tire is put into the curing chamber at a precise temperature and pressure. Each tire is connected to a vacuum line. The combination of heat and pressure and time will properly bond the tread to the tire casing. The technician uses graphs and gauges to monitor the temperature and pressure of each tire in the curing chamber. Once the curing process is completed, the tire is ready to move to the next step. Post-curing removal and high inflation testing process. After the tire has cured, the locking rings and envelope are removed from the tire. A coating of silicone is applied to the envelope to keep its elasticity. The envelope has a lifespan of approximately 200 cycles. The tire is then placed in a secured chamber and inflated to 20% over its recommended inflation pressure to assure the tire doesn't separate or exhibit any abnormalities in the casing. The tire is now ready for the final step. Final inspection process. The tire is at the final inspection station. One last look at the casing, the crown, and sidewall to make sure all of the tread has properly bonded to the casing, and if everything checks out, the tire gets a coating of tire paint and it gets a sticker attached with all of its information so that it goes back to the customer ready for service. At Purcell Tire, we strive to provide total client satisfaction. From providing new tires, repairing injuries, or applying new tread material, our goal is to provide our customers service that is beyond compare. Any tire brought in for service is tracked by its barcode through every step in the process. From its initial inspection to its final inspection, we know exactly what that tire has been brought in for and where it's being returned to. For all of your tire needs, you can count on Purcell Tire.